Alright, so we just defeated the Bed of Chaos. It took a few tries, but eventually we got it. And well, in between recording actually, I did a little bit of grinding, not too much. Basically all I did was grind for Titanite chunks, which the Dark Wraiths drop down in New Londo. So that's basically what I did. And I basically upgraded almost everything up to max. Well, not max, but almost max, rather. You know, Cestus, the Bricken Hood, Wanderer Coat, and the Elite Knight Leggings, all plus 9. And of course, this one's plus 14. I believe armor only goes to plus 9. Plus 10 is the maximum for armor. Maximum for standard upgrade for weapons is plus 15. Of course, you need Titanite slabs in order to make it max level for weapons and armor. I also upgraded these little manchette. How do you call them? Cloth? Manchette? Manchette? I don't know what you call them. Little arm wraps. I upgraded to plus 6 because, you know, I'm probably gonna replace it eventually, so only bother to upgrade to plus 6 instead of plus 9. Probably need to grab more Titanite chunks later if I want to use a different type of gauntlet. Anyway, alright, so what do we do now? I don't know, there's a few things actually. I'm thinking there's a little side diversion we can do real quick. We might as well, so, since we passed on by the Bed of Chaos and everything. So let's see, where is it? I would have to go all the way back down that way. So I forgot all about it, but you remember Mr. Onion said something about how like he was gonna go to Lighttown and everything? Or you can actually meet him before you go to Lost Islev. And it should be fine either way. You don't have to do it before you beat the Bed of Chaos. I believe you could do it even after you kill the Bed of Chaos. So I think it should be fine. I have to walk all the way back though. Yeah, and I mentioned before, yeah, Quilana is supposed to be around here, you know? She sits around here, but after defeating the Bed of Chaos, you can't meet her anymore. I didn't want to go through the trouble, because in order to upgrade your Pyromancy Flame, you're gonna need a lot of souls and everything, you know, and I didn't want to grind souls just for Pyromancy that I'm not gonna use anyway, so. That's why I didn't bother. But it is, you know, get to meet an interesting NPC if you do so, and everything. There's a few NPCs that are kind of related to like sorcery and miracles and pyromancy. Depending on what kind of character you make, you do actually meet different NPCs. Or you don't really meet them necessarily, but interesting things happen. You can go down different story paths depending on what kind of character you make, which is really cool. You know, that's what I like about Dark Souls in general. Is that idea that you can miss things because you've committed to a certain type of character. I believe it's a little bit alleviated though in Dark Souls 2 and 3, however, because I imagine maybe players don't like the idea of missing out on content, so instead of that they just made it easier for everyone to just do everything. But you know, I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of want to just focus on one type of character and not worry about getting literally everything, you know. I'm doing this one though. Hello, Mr. Onion. But he's just standing here as always. Sleeping, apparently. I don't know how you sleep standing up. It's a hard thing to do. I guess he's good at it. Hello?
Hmm? Oh ho! Excuse me, I was so absorbed in thought I just drifted away. You see, I'm actually in a bit of a fix. I've made it this far, but I'm short on antidote moss for the trip back. By my knighthood, I'm ashamed to ask, but can you spare a few scraps of moss?
Yeah, here we go.
Fantastic. Thank you. A saint you are. This Knight of Katarina expresses his deepest gratitude. I shall not forget this. Please, take this, a symbol of my appreciation.
Yeah, and get his shield.
Well, our fates do seem entwined, don't they? Perhaps this, too, is the will of Lord Gwyn.
He's like, I don't know, he's comparable to Solaire, I guess, you know, he's just a jovial guy, bumbling around.
Poison swamp, like quicksand in there.
The bonfire's over there, Onion. Over there.
The poison swamp, like quicksand.
Okay. We're gonna need to return to Blighttown eventually, but for now, that will continue his quest, and he'll go down actually to Lost Islev. And we might as well meet them there, actually. You can just do it right now, if you wanted to. You notice that Solaire is gone, by the way. He's off doing something else. Presumably, continuing his own journey. For Lord Gwyn and everything. Which reminds me, actually, well, I don't know, I think I already mentioned it. I think so. But basically, there was cut content involving Oscar, actually. I think I said it already, but yeah, it's similar to Solaire, where Oscar's like doing his own little path in the game. So you wonder, like, all these NPCs are kind of like you, doing their little quest, because they're apparently chosen undead as well. It seems like, King Seeker Framp is just giving that title to anyone these days. They're all chosen undead. Yeah. But I guess that's the idea. These NPCs and, assumably other players as well, they're all just chosen undead on their own quests, fighting all the bosses. Everyone's doing the same thing that you are as well. For the most part. Of course, some of them, a lot of them, end up going hollow and just giving up. Just like the crestfallen knight, you mean the beginning of the game. And some of them just kind of like stop, they just stop at a certain point and don't really continue. And become merchants, for example. But here's Mr. Onion. He fell down here, I guess. He's, a very heavy armor. Kind of bumbling around. Somehow he ended up over here. So you can meet him here. I came here first, and I thought he would be here, but I forgot you're supposed to meet him in the Blighttown first. Yeah. Now, if you fall down there, especially into those mouths, you can imagine you're not gonna have a very good time. Let's talk to him first. Have a sip. Sleeping as always. Keep talking to you.
Excuse me, I was so absorbed in thought I just drifted away. Must be the wolf. Well, what's on your mind? No? Don't tell me? Those monsters making life difficult for you? You need not be ashamed. We're all in the same boat. I really have run up quite a debt to you. Perhaps the time has come.
What do you mean? The time has come. You mean he's gonna help me out?
Fred, I have an idea. A good one, really. I will rush those dire fiends, and you can slip away in the confusion. Please, Fred. I owe you much more than this. By the honor of the Knights of Katarina, allow me to assist you. And now, I go. Don't be slow.
Don't be slow. And he's gonna actually fight. Oh. I think ah, damn it. Wait, can I? I think I might have failed his quest, actually, which sucks. Ah, damn it. That wasn't really what I was looking for. Because the thing is, he needs to survive more than half HP. I don't know if there's a way to... I don't know if there's a way to change that. I can save scum maybe, but I can't really do that in Dark Souls. There's DS Fix that allows you to do a little... You can like load a backup, I guess, but ah, damn it. That's not exactly what I wanted. Because the thing is, again, if you can't continue his quest if his HP is lower than half. Which is unfortunate. There's no way to heal him either. trying to think, is there any way I can do this? There's no way. Because I can't heal him. He's gonna... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, I assume so. Hello, Mac Derpitz. He just needs to survive? Really? What I've heard is that if he's lower than half HP, the quest doesn't continue. That's what I remember. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess okay. So basically, yeah, he goes down. The plan is to like, he's gonna sacrifice himself to save you or whatever because you've been helping him this entire time and everything. But if he lives, at least that's supposed to be the idea. You can continue his quest and everything. But let's see.
But you, didn't you get away? Well, you saved me, once again. Oh, thank goodness. I'm exhausted. I think I'll have a rest. Oh, don't you worry. The ground below me is my pillow. I'll recover shortly.
Okay. I mean, the dialogue seems to be the same. I remember doing his quest before. You know, you notice he's glowing? I think he has, like, the red tear stone or something. I don't know. Or blue tear stone. Some kind of ring that activates when he's low HP, technically. He's just sleeping in the poison, which is... I don't think is a good idea. Apparently he's immune, though. Gameplay-wise. Okay. You did his quest, he almost died, but you were still able to do it? I don't know. I distinctly remember the quest requirements where if he was below half HP, then he just doesn't, he doesn't continue. Assumedly, he just dies here, and then you just never see him again, which I assume what happens. I don't know. I do know there are like actually a few ways you can mess up this quest. Actually, you can, for example, kill those little monsters first by yourself. In which case, I don't know if you get any dialogue with him. I think, well, if he's around here, I think he like dives in with you, I think, or something. But if you kill him before he even comes here, then he just doesn't show up, for one, I think. And I think, obviously, if he dies, then he's gone forever. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. The dialogue seems to be the same. I remember the dialogue that, talking before seems to be the same. I guess we'll see. I distinctly remember, though, that you don't get to continue his quest if it's lower than half HP. That's why I'm always careful in trying to save him every time. But this time, he has lower HP. I didn't notice. I didn't notice he was being attacked so much by those guys. I was trying to live myself, I believe you can also, well, I think it's funny, but you can also, like, die during that part. In which case, he just kind of teleports back to where he was, and then you can just do it again. So in a way, you can, like, restart the encounter. But, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, this is a bit of a maze, by the way. I've never really know my way around here. This is a mimic? No. Yeah, I was thinking of using like any kind of spell, but I don't have spells. This is the thing. This is like a non-miracle or sorcery character. If you had, I imagine if you have a faith character, you would use something like Soothing Sunlight or what's the other one called? Boundness. I remember something about bounties. Boundness Sunlight, Soothing Sunlight, and then the other one that heals everyone. I think you only use those spells though if you're in the Princess's Guard. The one of Guinevere. You can use those big AoE healing spells. Oh, there's another one over here. And by the way, if you do... I don't think it's going to happen in this playthrough, but if you do fall into those big mouths on top of them, you do basically turn into a blender. It's like a blender monster. And then you basically die. I don't know if you can survive it. I think you can. I think you can survive a lot of grabs in this game. It just does a lot of damage. It's not really instant death. So I guess if you have enough HP, you'll survive. Anyway. Let's see. That was an item. Is it the way out? I don't remember how to get out again. Over here, maybe? No. It's just a branch. Well, actually, I guess I don't really have to go out. I can always just homeward bone. Yeah, I always get stuck here. In terms of like just leaving. I don't know how to leave. Normally? I wonder if there is a way to leave. There probably is. Yeah, there's I remember there's a way to leave, but I'm kind of too lazy now. I'll probably just homeward bone. Alright, Onion Knight, you'll just be over there. Hopefully you'll live. But I swear that, again, if you leave him with lower HP there, he just kind of like doesn't continue the quest. I don't know if it's like a glitch or something, or it's part of the quest. I'm not sure. Well, anyway, we did that. That was just Onion Knight quest. There's a bit more, even if that part doesn't continue. I believe there's more you can still do. You get nothing else, if nothing else, but a little bit of story. Even if you don't get the prize at the end. Because there is a prize that you can get if you finish all of his little side diversions. For now, I'm trying to think. Probably I'm gonna do Grave Lord Needle next. I'm probably gonna go to the catacombs. Is what I'm gonna do. But first, before we go into there, I mean, we don't have to do it now, but might as well. Asked if you're on Xbox, but it looks like you're on PC. Yeah, I'm on PC. This is the original PC version. But you can't buy anymore, which is funny. You can only buy the remastered version now. You can't buy the original Steam version, at least normally.
Well, hello again.
And I wouldn't trust, I wouldn't trust anyone buying the original version anywhere else but Steam, because probably it's a bunch of scams if you try to buy anywhere else. I just have the original version. I just never bought the remastered version. I still have the original version. Is the thing. Anyway, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to do this. Okay, so the thing is, if you're gonna fight a bunch of skeletons, and well, I'll show why this is important later, but basically, it's a good idea to bring a divine weapon. The easiest way to get a divine weapon, for me anyway, is to downgrade the occult club. Because in order to get a occult path, I believe, you upgrade it from the divine path. But you can also revert it, I guess, with Andre's service. I believe any kind of like smith can do it, really. This is like one way of like reverting your mistakes if you go down like an upgrade path that you didn't want to do. It doesn't give you back the resources though. Well, Dark Souls definitely, the first one is more punishing in that case. Even when you want to revert your weapons upgrade path. Alright, so we did that. Let's see, you can't teleport directly to the catacombs, I don't think, so I guess we'll just walk past the graveyard again. Just run through the catacombs. I already did the catacombs early on. I did most of it. I guess if there's like one thing I want to do is that there's one like Black Knight still hanging around down there, so I probably want to kill that guy. Just because. Just for fun. And there's the Titanite demon. I guess we gotta defeat it because there's an item behind it. I forgot what that item was, but actually is relevant to the Covenant. I tried to go, nestle in this coffin. I thought we just needed to just be in that coffin and it'll do the thing, but didn't do it yet. Because you need an item I don't have. Kill this thing. I guess I don't have to, but it's in the way. It's in the way, so it needs to go away. There you do a jump. Ow. Hitbox. I'm surprised I didn't get damage for a lot. I don't know if the damage scales on the enemies in this area. I don't know why I healed. It seems like they didn't do as much damage as before, but maybe it's because I upgrade my armor as well. It's probably a reason too. I don't like that. I remember rolling through that attack before, but maybe not. The one where he jumps and slams his weapon at you. can't see. Okay, now you're dead. Grab this item. Oh, got his weapon. I don't know if it's guaranteed that you get his weapon, but I believe it's like a chance to get his little like spear thing, Titanite catch pole. Weapon of a Titanite demon, a faceless stone monster born from a Titanite slab. One of the enchanted weapons, perhaps from residual power of the Titanite slab. Known for his leaping attack, which comes smashing down on foes from above. Yep, that's its most annoying attack. Isn't there special attacks here? I guess you can sort of do it too. I guess you can do it too. It's not as strong though. It's just like it just looks like a jumping attack really. Is it the same move as R2? Even with one-handed, you still do the same one. I'm trying to do the normal one. Can I do the normal jumping attack? You know, it's different in Dark Souls 1. Jumping attack in Dark Souls 1, you gotta press, like similar to a kick, you gotta like press R2 and up at the same time. I know in the other Dark Souls, you can just simply run, you can sprint, and then press R2 to do the same thing. I can't do it. Yeah, like that. I'm trying to do this, like this attack. I'm trying to do that attack. A little bit harder in Dark Souls 2 on my controller. When I played Dark Souls 2, it was really hard to do the jumping attacks in the second game. I can't do it. Or is it maybe, I wonder if it's like automatic, no matter what you do that special attack? I was just wondering if I can do a normal jumping attack with that Titanite catch pole, but anyway. So we have this item, it's the Eye of Death. Amazing. So this is a Covenant item actually. That I needed. It's an online play item, lure phantoms from other worlds. Only the Covenant can use this item, so you can't just use it yourself. The dreadful Eyes of Death spread disaster across neighboring worlds. Phantoms lured to the host world may end up as victims, allowing the Eyes of Death to multiply, and leading to further proliferation of Bane. Well, now that we have that in our item inventory, I guess, we can actually activate this thing that came here earlier and check it out real quick. You can also, I believe, get those Eyes of Death by grinding basilisks, you know, the ones that shoot petrifying breaths in the depths, sewers. Those little like weird lizard things that, you know, have like bulging eyes, I guess. I guess the Eyes of Death are just basilisk eyes, if I had to guess, because it looks like it. It looks like you're literally just carving the eyes from those basilisks and then put it in your pockets. Yeah, when you have the Eye of Death in your inventory and activates this little cutscene, which might be bad for like claustrophobic people, I don't know. Actually looks pretty comfy though. I wonder who that is. There was a short like little cutaway to like a face there. It happened too fast, so I couldn't see what it was. I imagine it's some kind of skeleton. Some kind of skeleton dude. And then you come over here. So this place is actually a boss room. This is actually where we're supposed to go eventually. Though you can't fight the boss here. But it's basically the Tomb of the Giants is where we're going to go next. So deeper into the catacombs is the Tomb of Giants. Beyond Pinwheel, I guess. And this is Gorilla Nito. He's just hanging out. I don't believe you can fight him right now, obviously. Not doing anything, just can't really hit him or anything. I don't think he has HP here. You can look at him though. Just like literally taking a nap. You know, like he's just an amalgamation of skeletons. I see a little sword there. This is the boss room, which is interesting. Compare to him. Enter, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Basically, his covenant is the Grave Lord Covenant. I'm not really gonna join it because you know, it doesn't really matter to me. But it's like a little like online covenant as well. Again, a lot of the online stuff though in Dark Souls, I mean especially now, but even back then, it's not great. Because the way it works is the idea you join the Grave Lord Covenant, you get you get a special sword you can use for PvE, a little like Grave Lord sword, which is the same sword he's using. There's like a curved great sword, you know. It's you know, just interesting. You can use it for early game. I believe it poisons enemies. I don't know if it poisons or toxic. Though the proc effect is not really as effective as like simply killing the enemies, you know. I believe it's toxic actually. Yeah, you can like toxic people, but you know, it's like it's a low build up, so it's unlikely that you get to poison anyone with that sword. You most likely just kill them in the first place anyway. Anyway, you get like a little sword, and the whole idea of the Grey Lord Covenant is what it says on the Eye of Death. You can actually use that, similar to like a Red Eye Orb, and then you kind of like Grave Lord the area. And the idea is the fact that when the place is Grave Lorded, you know, you get a little message that says, or at least the players in other worlds get a little message that you've been infected, you know, by like some kind of Grave Lord dude or whatever. And the idea is that you're supposed to hunt down like a little sign, and that forces them to go to your world, and then they try to kill you, you know, to stop that infection, or you kill them, and then you get more, you know, Eyes of Death that you can use to also rank up in the Grave Lord Covenant. And especially in New Game Plus, I believe, and only in New Game Plus, which makes the Covenant kind of useless to be honest, but only in New Game Plus does your infection actually do anything. is the thing. You like the players, they get a little like red phantoms, I believe, or black phantoms or whatever. Weird. Wasn't there like a Black Knight here? Did it die? I thought you were supposed to fight a Black Knight here. Am I crazy? I thought it was over here. Maybe somewhere else. I hear him! Where are you, Black Knight? Hello? Like an illusionary wall here? I don't know. Anyway, New Game Plus, when you're infected by a Gravelord, there's like special enemies that appear. They're basically like... They appear like red phantoms. Like with a reddish tinge, I guess. They're just like special enemies in the area. You know, for example, like an extra Black Knight or an extra, you know, wheel skeleton or whatever. Just like appear in the world that makes your game technically a bit harder. You know, and then that gives you motivation to hunt down the Gravelord to kill him. And the idea is that the Gravelord, you know, he like kind of like encourages players to all invade his world. Well, that's what happens if you have no poise, by the way. I don't remember where the Black Knight is. I thought it was over that. I guess not. Or maybe, actually no, I think it's beyond the broken wall. I'm trying to think. I lost those souls. Because I don't think I want to go back and get those souls. I don't know, maybe if I go all the way back down. Put on my wolf ring, by the way. I forgot to put my wolf ring back on. That's the reason why I've been getting stun locked over so much. That's why. Let's see. Here. So yeah, Gravelord, the Gravelord Covenant, kind of useless, because if you are a new game, which most players are, you know, most players just bother only playing a new game. They don't really do New Game Plus, really. Nobody really bothers to fight the Gravelords. So it's just like it makes the PvP too complicated. It adds too many layers. Similar to Dark Moon Blades and all the other online Covenant systems. They have neat ideas, but nobody bothers to actually do them because it just requires too many steps. Invasions are more popular because you can just invade. It's easier that way. Most people in this game, I feel like, only do like normal summon co-op or just PvP invasions, and maybe duels, I guess. That's one other thing, but you know, for the most part, it's just those types of PvP rather than the interesting ones that nobody does because it's too complicated. Requires too many steps. Because the thing is, I mean, because one other way of just simply canceling PvP is just to, for example, if you're in a area where there's a boss, you can just go into the boss room. You know, it cancels the PvP, no matter what you do. I guess with the exception of Well, I mean, I was gonna say the exception of co-op, but co-op's not PvP. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm trying to remember where you go to get to the Black Knight. There was a Black Knight, right? I think it was another path. I don't remember the path anymore, though. And there you go, that's the Black Knight. Where were you, buddy? You were missing the last time I came here. You're like in the ground or something, I don't know. How much damage do you do? I don't know. I'll just parry you. We'll never know, because I'll kill you before you even hit me in the face. That guy has a Black Knight Great Axe, by the way. I believe the Black Knight Great Axe was actually... I mean, it's a very unique weapon because it attacks much more differently than the other Great Axes. But also, I believe, for the longest time, it was actually one of the strongest weapons. As well. Not so much anymore, though. Let's just run past these guys. What is that item? I don't remember. It's kind of tedious to get that item. I have to go all the way back up. I do know that item is the same. It's on the same platform where you can summon. I believe his name is actually Paladin Leroy. You know, I think it really is just a reference to Leroy Jenkins. If I'm not mistaken, I remember that distinctly. I remember how like it's weird, like Dark Souls, you know, as like a reference to like a meme. Well, I guess Dark Souls is a memeable game. It's just that it's not normally like that. I feel like part of the charm of why people make a lot of jokes about Dark Souls is that it's normally not supposed to be funny. It's not trying to be funny, is the thing. It's actually pretty dark. Oh. Both metaphorically, but also literally. Literally dark. Because as we've seen now, if you go down here, the Tomb of Giants is where we're going in now. It's very dark. Hard to see anything. There's lava over there, so maybe you think how maybe that connects to Lost Isla? I don't know. And in the beginning, they give you some prism stones to let you see around a little bit. And you enter here, and there's Tomb of Giants. I can't imagine you doing this normally. I don't know. A lot of people complain about this place. I feel like the people who complain about this place didn't have a light, is the thing. And even with the lights, it's still a little bit spooky, I guess. But before I always go here, I always get the Sunlight Maggot. It just frees up so much of my hands, you know? Because you can also use a Skull Lantern, but because the Skull Lantern always requires you to use your offhand, you know? For one, it occupies your offhand, but also you need to be holding it. Like, you have to actually actively press it down in order to even use the Skull Lantern. It's annoying in that case. Because, when you're fighting enemies, which you are going to be, then you're gonna be fighting in the dark otherwise, you know? You can't be holding down a lantern the entire time. I guess this is, yeah, this is where we saw before, back at the Demon Ruins, and Lost Isla and everything. Is that the same bell I remember? I guess it's not really a bell, it's kind of like a bowl, a kiln of some sort. So I think I'm trying to remember. I guess the theory is that, yeah, that is the same little bowl thing that you were inside when you fought the Bed of Chaos, actually. That should be the same one, if I'm not mistaken. So you really do just go inside like a weird bowl thing, and you wonder why you do that. Well, I believe... I mean, the reason is because the Witch of Islip was trying to recreate the first flame, which is the flame that was created to destroy the dragons, you know, when you saw in the beginning cutscene where Gwyn apparently attained some kind of power through the first flame, and as the Age of Fire dwindled, I guess the Witch of Islip tried to make another one, but of course, instead of making the first flame again, you know, I guess a second flame, she made a bunch of demons, and therefore everyone turned to spider girls, or something like that. Big booty demons, you know? Big booty demons and giant monsters is what happened. Anyway, Tomb of Giants. You know why it's called the Tomb of Giants? Because there's a bunch of giants. Or at least, giant skeletons anyway. So you think, you know, there's a catacombs for humanoids, I guess, small humans, and there's a deeper one. It's for giants. I don't know if there's any significance for that. I don't know if they're, like, more important, maybe, because it's, like, at a deeper part or something. There's a bunch of tombs, a bunch of coffins. There are, like, specifically for big giants, you know, we saw before in Analondo. But this further confirms the idea is that there are just a bunch of giant beings around here. I'm just desecrating their skeletons. Don't worry about it. You know, at the very least, they, if you don't have any light, at the very least, they show you a view of a bunch of lava in the distance, and just remember how bright that lava is. Anyway, I'm trying to find my way around here. This place is actually pretty small, actually, but again, it's kind of hard to see where everything is, obviously, because it's so dark. Especially if you don't have the sunlight maggot or any kind of like light spell or whatever. There's an item there, but I don't know how you get that. I guess you drop down, maybe. I don't know. Well, let's go over here, though. Whee! A skeleton. Big skeleton dude. There's a big old falchion, I guess. This is what his item is. His weapon. And these guys don't resurrect. Which is good. Because they don't have, like, necromancers, I guess. There's two of them. You can also hear some arrows being shot at you. Giant arrows being shot at you. Not great. Kill you. Ow. And I got a giant stick on. Arrow. Ow. Another one. Stop turning me into a pincushion. Stop it. Wow. I'm not sure you... I don't remember. I don't explore this place a lot. This is the thing. I don't want to be in here. That's why. So I don't know where everything is. It's like, I guess there's a way to go that way. Or maybe you go down here first. I'm trying to think. There's also something over there as well, by the way. I don't know if you have to slide down that way in particular. Here's this dude. Yeah, might as well talk to him first. Hello. You could, by the way, you could meet this guy early on in the catacombs. But, I feel most of the time I never meet him early, though. I feel most players don't either. Because you have to go, like, way early. You have to go, like, even before you ring the bells of awakening, I believe. To, talk to this guy. Before you even meet him here, you know? So there's technically two instances where you can meet him, but you know, usually he just moves on over here, and then you can talk to him later anyway. I don't believe anything interesting happens early as well. Nothing, like, he doesn't give you much if you meet him early. But I guess you get extra dialogue, and you learn, you know, the type of person he is. Let's see.
Good day. You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the catacombs? Are you a cleric or something?
Well, I don't really have a faith build, so no.
No? Really? Then I'd have no qualms telling you. There's a fine stash of treasure right down that hole. I found it first, but, well, we're friends now. So I'll split it with you. In any case, have a look. It'll shimmer you blind.
Ha 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 ha. Just a laugh between friends, right? Not just anything sinister at all. He seems like a good person, right? See some items over there. So let's just beware of wretch. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's just go down there and take a look and.
This is what I do, my friend. The trinkets I'll be stripping off your corpse, that's the real treasure.
As it turns out, he kicks you down to the pit. You know, he by the way, Patches. He appears in a lot of Souls games. He always does the same thing. He just acts suspicious, and then he always betrays you somehow. That's just his thing. I know, obviously in Demon Souls, you know, that's probably where he originated. Probably does a very similar thing in Demon Souls. Anyway, you drop down here. It's not that bad, actually. You know, he says, "Oh, I'm gonna strip off the treasure off your corpse," but then you actually do get some treasures yourself. So he's actually doing you a favor, really. You don't get any drop damage as well. You know, apparently if you fall in the cutscene, you don't take damage. Here's her, by the way. You meet her. Remember her in the very beginning of the game, where the priestess, you know, the two knights and everything. They're gonna go on a quest down the catacombs. I guess she ended up over here. I don't know why you guys went to the catacombs, however. You know, you defeated Pinwheel. I don't know why you came down even further. It's kind of dark in here. Can't do much without light.
You're no hollow, are you? Thank goodness. Please be careful. There are two fierce hollows not far from here. They were once brave knights, my former escorts. Who would let such strong spirits be hollowed so? Heavens, is there nothing at all to be done?
Boo. So I guess she went down here, but then her two knights went hollow for some reason. Maybe they just kind of gave up. Well, probably what happens is they get lost. And they didn't have a flashlight. Or a torch, I guess? They don't have torches in this world. Dark Souls 2, actually, torches is kind of like a mechanic. But not in Dark Souls 1, I guess. So they didn't know how to use torches around here. So they just got lost in the dark forever. Eventually, they went insane, I guess.
You're no hollow.
Okay, same thing. Walk around here. An item over there. Can't get it right now. Actually, I can. I can just walk around this way. I didn't know that. Ooh, I hear something. Oh, these guys. These weird, like, skull pillars. I don't know. Get rid of them. Let's see. So she mentioned two knights, eh? Where are they? Hello? She's sitting over there. Oh, there you go. That's the first of them. I wonder which one this one was. Is it the one that mumbles or the one where he's rude? You know, the one that was rude at you, telling you that you stink. I wonder. Get parried. Ta-da! Dead. You know what? Actually, this is one of the few instances where actually you fight like a very humanoid enemy, like actually like a NPC with a player body. So I want to equip the Hornet Ring real quick, and I want to see the custom animation for the repose, just because. I just want to show it off. He has to attack first, though. There you go. Bam! Look at that. Ah! Hornet Ring. That's fun to do. Obviously, even in PvPs as well, is pretty strong. You get like a backstab or a riposte in there. And I believe the animations are just straight from Demon Souls, actually. They just do the animations from Demon Souls. Anyway, I killed your bodyguards, by the way.
You banished those two hollows, did you? It pains me to think of the trouble my failings have caused. I am certain that both Vince and Nico are grateful to you. Thank you so very much. Here, these belonged to them. You deserve them more than I.
Replenishment. Okay. It's just like a healing spell. I believe that one just kind of like recovers your health over time, you know, like regeneration.
I am certain that both Vince and Nico are grateful to you. Thank you so very much.
Okay. Are you gonna be fine here?
I am so...
Okay, she's gonna stay down here for a little bit, but I believe she eventually goes back up, you know? That's what happens. And she becomes a merchant that sells you a bunch of miracles. She's a little bright, because I have the hat on. I'm gonna just take off the hat. You're gonna be fine on your own? You know how to get back up, lady? You know? Pretty dark without a little hat like this to wear. And no, I'm not gonna give you one. It's my only one, so I guess she'll just stay down here for a little bit. Eventually she goes back up. And there's like a little extra thing you could do with her. Nothing too important, but interesting nevertheless. Let's see, so go this way. More of these guys. These guys don't really do much. They don't do a lot of damage, but I guess they do have one attack that can take off a lot of HP actually. Especially if you don't have any poise. Good thing I do have some poise. But for the most part, these little weird pillar skeletons are kind of just chumps. You know? Anyway, let's get back up. So you can actually just go down here yourself, you know, you don't have to like go through the cutscene. So in a way, you know, that guy who just kicks us off is not really all that much of a setback, really. Just kind of end up over here. You can go back up. Not dead yet. Die. I think it's over here, was it? No, I don't know if I'm going the wrong way. Because you can go on the right over there as well. Obviously, there's a bunch of skeletons there. Shooting things at you. Maybe, no, I think this is the wrong way, actually. This is the wrong way. That's fine. Might as well explore over here anyway. I think this is a side area. It doesn't really lead you anywhere. It just goes over here. Where you can drop down and get an item, I guess? I don't know if there's anything else to do around here. There's an item there, though, so you can just drop down here. And the Eye of Death? Well, this is more of Eyes of Death, I guess. So that is an option, by the way, because there is some achievements that you need by, or at least, you know, some requirements to get some achievements in this game that requires you to do Covenant stuff. And obviously, when the game is dead, and you can't do any online stuff anymore, I guess, you know, FromSoftware at least had the foresight to consider the fact that that might happen, and so they gave players options to, for example, grind for Covenant items. So, for example, the... Actually, can I drop? Am I dead? I don't know. For example, the Eye of Death, you can always just grind it from the basilisk, and also pick up from the world. So that's always an option. You can always just grind for the items PvE, rather than like doing online stuff. But it seems safe, so... okay. A little bit HP down. That's fine. So that was just a side version, actually. It doesn't lead to anything else. Here... Oh, that's a dead end. Shooting at me. Like one guy up there. Can't really get to him. Go down here. Can I go down here? I don't know if I should go down here. The biggest thing is if I can get out, you know? If I go in, can I get out? Someone seems to be attacking me. Uh-oh. I'm dead, damn it! Gosh darn. I didn't realize there would be so many skeletons right next to the ladder. There was someone attacking. Turns out. Oh, all the way down here though, which is not great. Actually, well, since we're here now, we might as well grab the item. You know? Silver lining. Assuming I don't miss it. Alright, there you go. Get out of here. Wasting all my Estus. Anyway, what's this? It's a large soul. Amazing. Falchion as well. I'm just reminded of that one Dark Souls PvPer that uses the falchion a lot. R1, R1, R1. Anyway, you go down here. Oh, I guess you get some holy robes and a mace. Oh yeah, that's interesting. I believe you get the. I believe you get the holy stuff if you start out as a cleric. And this one as well. I guess all the starter classes, you know, all the starting class armor have male and female versions. So this one looks different if you're like male. Way of White Priestess in Thorlin. No meaning in Lordran though. Just a priest hat. That's it. The mace is cool. I like the mace actually. I really like the mace. It's actually pretty underrated. I believe it's one of the only weapons. Like a little secret, you know, about the mace, by the way, at least in this game, is that if you two-hand it, it breaks poise pretty well. You know, if you didn't know, I guess I didn't really explain it before, but if you didn't know, poise has certain breakpoints. So depending on how much poise you have, in terms of numerical value. It allows you to not be stunned, at least for a little bit, by certain weapons. It's kind of like your temporary HP, I guess, before you actually get stunned. For example, you know, like a small dagger can hit you, and then you can survive it if you have like 10 poise or something. There's like certain breakpoints that have been calculated. I don't really have them on top of my head. But yeah, that's when it's a dagger to try to slash at you, it'll do damage, but you won't be phased by it. If they attack you like 6 times or whatever, then you'll be phased by it, you know, because you have like a... This poise does go down, but eventually it goes back up again. So again, it's like your temporary HP. But of course, if someone has like an ultra great sword and they just slash at you, you'll get stunned if you don't have enough poise. Whatever. The mace pretty much has the poise breakpoint of similar to like a big weapon, you know, because it's in the hammer class. If you two-handed, it does even more poise damage, and so if you two-handed, and it's a pretty fast weapon as well, if you get a hit on someone, then you can pretty much just stun lock them pretty well, unless they have a lot of poise, which most people don't. Most people stop poise around like 50-ish, 40-ish in terms of PvP meta anyway. So the mace is actually pretty powerful. Anyway, talk to you. So I'm back. You can technically just die and come back, I guess. It doesn't really matter though, because you just talk to him again.
Oh, you!
Which is funny because that's normally what happens anyway.
Just calm down.
When you die, it's not like you
I did
become a
you wrong,
corpse.
but I didn't mean it. These temptations, they can, well, overcome me. You know what I mean, don't you? Please, forgive me. You and me, we're jolly undead outcasts, aren't we?
Do you forgive her? I mean, normally, I feel like if I didn't know better, I would definitely say no and just kick him off the cliff. I feel like what most players do. But there is actually a reason to just keep him around, actually. He does become a merchant later on, so actually it's recommended to not kill him and just forgive him.
Oh, brilliant. A second chance. Wonderful. I had a feeling you'd understand. I did. But, if I were in your shoes... Ooh... Who knows what I'd have done. But now we're friends again. Eh?
Patches. The guy that everyone hates. Somehow he's still around. But as punishment though... Give me your humanity.
Ow!
Yum yum yum, delicious, delicious humanity. Yum. He says ow, but you actually do no damage when you do that, so you... At least as far as I know, when you use the dark hand on people, and steal their humanity, so those have 3 humanity, for most NPCs, they have like a set value. Every NPC has like a set value, I believe. So you can't just do it infinitely, but often they don't turn hostile, as far as I know. An NPC never went hostile on me when I've, sucked up their humanity. I just did that just because.
I did you wrong, but I didn't mean it. These temptations, they can overcome me. You know what I mean, don't you?
No. Anyway. So we did that. Oh, there's the bonfire right there. You see someone there. That's just a phantom. That's not a real person. Looks real, though. I believe all the little gray ghosts, by the way. I mean, obviously there are other players. But I believe you don't really see their armor. You know, their armor is just... I mean, as far as I know this is how it works in the other Soul series. But the armor that you always see around other players are actually depending on what armor they have. You know, it's just like a generic armor template, I guess, that you always see. For example, if they wear light armor, then they just wear like a certain set of armor, or they're naked or whatever. They just wear like, generic armor that's not actually dependent on what they're actually wearing, if that makes sense. I want to get my souls back if possible, actually. Where was I? Where did I die? I want to drop down again. Was it? Well, actually, did I miss it? Like, maybe it's supposed to be around here. It looks like doesn't lead anywhere though. Yeah, it's just like a bonfire. But yeah, but I was gonna say though, if you're near the bonfire, if you're like a player near the bonfire, they actually do show you your actual armor that you're wearing. So that's a difference. Versus like random phantoms walking around the world sometimes you see around. Also, again, I guess, you know, I said before how like the world is well designed and everything. I'm just eating my own words because a lot of the times actually I just get lost. And maybe over here. Yeah, okay, it was over here. So that was the illusionary wall. Okay, so you have to go to the right. That leads back to patches. Okay, so if you go this way, however, this is where I was before. I'm trying to think. I went down here, right? That's what I did when I died last time. Alright, let's do it better this time. Where are you guys? Flashing your swords over there? Yeah. Damn it. One slash is enough to kill these guys. I'm powerful enough to just one-shot these guys anyway. The problem is getting stun locked. Getting trapped in the corner. Ow. So many of you guys. What? What? Wow. I didn't realize there were so many of these skeletons. So many skeletons. Wow. We're right here, so it doesn't matter too much. Let's grab my souls again. You know, there's like one thing I never did before, actually. There's a few mechanics in this game I just never really considered. I don't know if it works, actually. But let's see, the thing I'm thinking of. Let me see if I can do it. So there's an item in this game you can use. You know what? I'll just replace that for now. And I never used before. You can use the alluring skull, actually. So this is an item you can use in this game. A skull with meekly lingering souls. Throw the shatter and spread souls to attract certain types of enemies. Souls are a concentration of life, and the life-star hollows are lured by its power, not effective for all enemies. But I guess it's a lore reason why these enemies are attacking you, because you have souls, I guess. But also, you can also use this to lure enemies. Now, I don't know if it works on these skeletons, however, but let's try it. See if it works. So maybe if I do that, they're gonna be distracted by the souls. Did not attack me? No, it didn't work actually. Never mind. I think that would work. I guess not. Let me just drink my essence. Come on. Yeah, stop it. Nope. Too many of these guys. Kill one. At least I have my poise. Stop chasing me. Ow. Stop it. Jump. Jumping doesn't give you invincibility frames. 2 down. 1 to go. Can't you cannot backstab these guys, by the way. Or parry them, as far as I know. You know, one strategy actually in Dark Souls, if multiple enemies are fighting you, and I guess you can do it in PvP as well, one thing you can abuse, and that's why, you know, this is why backstabs are so powerful, but if you do backstab enemies, you are invincible while you're doing the backstab animation. So that's one way of doing crowd control, I guess. However, I couldn't do it in this situation because you can't backstab these enemies. They're too big. Anyway, so you go down here, I guess, what's this, an ember of some sort? It looks like another person that looks like Andre. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, because I do believe Initially, Andre was planned to be some other kind of NPC. I believe he was in the development development phase of Dark Souls. I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but I believe he was supposed to have a more important role. Like, he wasn't just a smith, he was actually more important to the story of Dark Souls or something. Maybe like he was like actual god of some sort. I don't know. I guess here's a large divine ember though. I guess that's useful. Not for me, but I guess it's kind of like a hint that you're supposed to have divine weapons at this point. But ember required for weapon ascension. Large divine ember, a secret church rite intended for select divine blacksmiths. Ascends +5 divine weapons on par with their weapons of the gods. Man. Not really though, because actually it does less damage. If you compare the weapon damage of like fully upgraded divine weapon versus like a standard one, like even with the correct stats and everything, the standard one actually does more damage. So divine weapons, as cool as it sounds, actually for most of them, for most weapons as far as I know, don't actually add much in terms of actual raw damage. Really, they're useful for one utility, and that's destroying the undead, which is like literally like one area of the game, so not that useful. Anyway, go down here. But actually, I want to rest at the bonfire first, actually, before we continue. Alright, so we did all that. It's time to actually move on to over here. So we're not done with this place, because obviously there's still a boss we have to fight. You see that fog wall over there is actually not the boss. There's actually a little bit more after that as well. Now though, let's fight some enemies over here. There's a few things you can grab over here. Again, the thing is, I've already completed my character for the most part in terms of items. So, I don't really need anything, but I like to explore anyway, just to see if there's anything to grab. And also just see a bit more of the world and everything. Just explore everything more thoroughly, just like a first playthrough, right? Because that's what most players do. When they play the game for the first time, they explore everything as much as they can. And that's what I want to do. Hey, here's a Black Knight, by the way. Damn it. No. Try again. No. I'm doing a special attack. What? Ow. Okay. Heal. Ow. Wait, heal. But hold on. Hold on. Time out. Hold on, stop it. I want to heal. But I can't. Oh my god. Why is this one Black Knight giving me so much trouble? I don't know. Why is that skeleton still shooting at me? Stop it. Oh my god. Obviously I can backstab as well. That's an option. Backstab. Repulse. I want to parry. Drop down. Okay, finally. I'm trying to get that parry is what I wanted to do. Now you're dead. Good. Used up all my Estus though. Let's kill one dude. Alright. You know, I just ran all the way back here. Like a big old coward. I just need some space, you know, the one-on-one. There's one freaking skeleton still shooting at me. Just go away, stop. Don't you know it's rude to shoot arrows at you while you're fighting someone? It's kind of like if you're in like Dragon Ball Z or something, you know, the hero is supposed to fight the villain, and it's just random dudes just shooting a bunch of stuff at you at the same time. It's against the anime rules. The rule is that you're supposed to fight one-on-one, unless you need the power of friendship. Only then is the hero allowed to cheat and then gang up on the villain. Once the villain powers up and then they require the power of friendship to defeat them. Or whatever. Which actually, I don't know, from the perspective of a villain though, isn't that unfair? Not very honorable. Though I guess depends on the story. It's often the case, actually, you know, when you think about it. In most, like, you know, shonen anime or any kind of like fictional story where there's like a hero, you know, like a superhero fighting like a big villain and everything, a lot of the time, the villain's the one being ganged up on, you know? Isn't it kind of unfair? Maybe not. I feel bad for the villain. They're just like one dude, and then you have to fight all these nerds all at once, at the same time. You know how hard it is to fight multiple enemies in Dark Souls, you know? It's exponentially harder. But of course, maybe it balances out if the villain also has like a superpower that they got from, I don't know, sacrificing the souls of the innocent. Something like that. There's nothing else? I'm trying to look around. There's nothing else. Let's see. Go down here. What's over here? Did I already see what's over here? I think I already ran over here, but I didn't see much. It's an item, right? Yeah. Deja vu. I just went back to where I was. Which way is it? So dark. Even with the sunlight maggot, you know, everything is so dark. It is called Dark Souls. This is the one place where everything actually is pretty dark. Which reminds me, actually, of Dark Souls 2. I believe in Dark Souls 2, especially in the beta release. Not the beta, but like, you know, in the trailers anyway. There was a big hubbub. Is that what you call it? Hubbub? There's a lot of hype, I guess, around like a certain mechanic of torches, actually. In Dark Souls 2, apparently it was meant to be actually pretty dark, you know, a lot of areas. And so you were forced to use the torch to get around. Similar to the Tombs of Giant, you know? And it would apparently work a little bit better in Dark Souls 2 because you would be able to use torches at the bonfire. So you would actually be able to just simply take out a torch at the actual bonfire. You would get an option to actually use it at the bonfire and everything. But in the actual Dark Souls 2, you know, release, that wasn't really the case. Torches became like a really optional mechanic, and you could also just kind of use it in one area, you know, that's like similar to like Blighttown or whatever, but it wasn't all that deeply used, I guess. It wasn't all that much of a mechanic. Dank Souls? Is that dank? Dank as you thought it'd be? I don't know, it's pretty dank. Like literally. I guess if you go to the sewer area, that's pretty dank. Anyway. Go down here. More of these things. I don't know if I mentioned before, but these guys, by the way, I don't know why they're like weird dog people. I don't know if these giants were meant to be crawling on all fours? They look humanoid, they have humanoid skeletons, and yet they're like acting like dogs. It's like they even have tails. Weird. I mean, we have tails, technically. You have tail bones, but, you know, they're not actually real tails. Can't really use it as a tail. Yeah, I don't know why there's a bunch of weird... I don't know the lore behind that. Like, why are there dogs? Maybe, like... I mean, maybe they weren't meant to be dogs before, and they were simply resurrected as weird dog enemies, you know? Just the necromancer was just having a laugh, turning these giant skeletons into weird dogs. Lycanthropes? Lycanthropes? Is that the lore? Is that actually the lore? Like werewolves? I don't know if that's the case, because I've never seen werewolves in Dark Souls. I've seen a wolf. Like a literal wolf, but... werewolves? Never heard of them in the Soul series, as far as I know. But I guess it's like a fantasy trope to have like werewolves. Ah, no! Ah, damn it! Went away before I killed it. I was gonna walk past it, you know, because I was gonna go over here, but then I already started moving. Oh well, maybe I'll get it next time. I just want to look over here. Gorgeous view ahead. So this is like an interesting thing. So we're out of the darkness now, which is good. And we see this. I guess this will be explained later, maybe. It's a bunch of trees. You know, we're quite deep underground and everything. And I believe this is like around below a lot of the world, actually. A lot of the world, I guess, is being supported by big trees. I don't know. That reminds me, actually, the prologue, actually, it shows like a lot of big trees, right? As far as I know, maybe? I don't know. Maybe that'll be explained later. And also, I believe in online PvP, I believe Paladin Leroy attacks you. So you can summon him for Pinwheel, but he also invades you as an NPC as well. Around this area. Yggdrasil? Is this Yggdrasil? I don't know. Is it Yggdrasil? What is Yggdrasil? Is that Norse mythology? Or something? Like a tree of life? Is that what it is? Maybe that's a reference to that? I don't know. Alright, so this is very precarious, by the way. Precarious? Is that the word? Precarious? Get out of here. Oh. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. As I said before, heal before I get shot by the arrow. Okay, my punching is not a lot of damage. Get out of here. Get killed. No. As long as they don't headshot me. Okay, fine. Stop. I was trying to like not get past this. I guess you can roll as well. Because that's the trap. If you try to attack the archer, the other one will kick you off. Is the thing. That's why I did not do that. I was wary of fighting the archer. Anyway. Stop. Get out of here. So these guys are more dangerous when you're stuck on a narrow pathway, as it turns out. Anyway. I go over here. You know, I might as well remove my sunlight magnet, actually. Put on my brigand hood. There's more defense, I think. Because we don't need it. Not really all that dark. So in this area, by the way, it's kind of weird. Bunch of skeletons just praying at something. And a bunch of pinwheels. As it turns out, I don't know the reason of these guys being here, but as it turns out, there's more pinwheels. They're just around. You know, they're just around. And also, oh yeah, if you go down here, a bunch of babies show up? I don't know, like literal skeleton babies. It's a popular farming spot though, because those babies drop humanity. Babies, they just infinitely spawn in that pool of water. And yeah, just a bunch of pinwheels. I don't know if they're clones or they're real pinwheels, because we killed you know, the boss pinwheel. I don't know if that was the original pinwheel or these are just illusions, but it seems like they live on in this area for some reason. Now, I mean, you don't have to kill them, but you know, I might as well. The first time I'm here, I might as well just kill them all. A bunch of them. They just teleport around, shoot you stuff. I believe they do stop respawning though. If you kill enough. I think there's an item there too. So grab it. You. Oh, this skeleton baby. Why not? Alright, is this the last of them? I think there's one more though. Where is it? Here. There we go. And I can't exactly kill all the skeleton babies because they respawn forever. So actually, you cannot kill them all. Like literally, they don't even just respawn when you rest at the bonfire, which is what most enemies do. These ones just respawn whenever you're in the water. But again, they do drop humanity though, so it's a popular farming spot. Anyway, look over here. There's a little altar, a bunch of skeletons praying, I guess. These sticks. Pick down the sticks. Get out of here, sticks. DMC3 on the PS2. You like that game? I don't know. I imagine this game, Dark Souls, however, is a much different kind of game though. Like a lot of like games like Devil May Cry are definitely like what do you call them? I guess they're like stylish. What do you call them? Style. Character action games. Yeah, that's what they're called. Character action type games. Definitely type of games that are very similar, I guess, in terms of action. But Dark Souls definitely. I prefer this kind of combat style, however, because there's much more weight behind your combat, I guess. Anyway, so you go down here, and this is the boss, you know? As it turns out, by the way, and this kind of happened on my second playthrough, I just want to mention real quick, is that if you have the Sunlight Maggot on, or any kind of light spell, I guess, that like, actually makes the fight a lot harder. Like, for some reason, it, like, makes the boss really angry, and I didn't know this. I don't know if it was ever mentioned, like, anywhere else within the game, or, like, or anything like that, but apparently if you wear the Sunlight Maggot within in the boss fight, he just keeps doing this one attack where he summons a sword and then he just keeps attacking you with it, and it really sucks. I hate it. But that's why I don't do that. I keep the Sunlight Maggot on my head as well, because you don't really need it at this point too, I guess. Anyway. So you go back here, by the way, this is where the Covenant was. I don't know if you can still do the Gravelord Covenant. I imagine you cannot after you kill the one guy that was the leader of said Covenant. But this is the same place where you go to when you know. Also, yeah, he does that attack. I hate that. He does that like infinitely, forever, if you let him. If you have the Sunlight Maggot on. Also, I forgot to equip my... I should have done this before, actually. Whatever, I'll just equip it like this. I'll do mid-menu changing. Hold on, wait. I forget where the club is. Where is it? Can't see. What's going on? I don't know. Club. Divine Club. Okay, I needed this because, as it turns out, another like little gimmick in this fight is the fact that these skeletons, they revive because, as it turns out, Gravelord Nito, he's the big necromancer, you know? He's the big boss necromancer, so you need divine stuff to get rid of these skeletons. Otherwise, though, when you fight Gravelord Nito, these skeletons keep reviving over and over and over again, which kind of sucks. You have to fight him and the skeletons at the same time, and you've learned in the Ornstein Smoke fight, the more enemies you pile on top of you, the harder it is. And of course, you can also just, you don't need to do that, you can also just fight here on the entrance near the area and just deal with it, I guess, but I prefer to get rid of them myself. And there's also a bunch of these guys over here. You don't have to fight these guys, but I want to get rid of them, so just in case they get close. So I'll just get rid of them right now. What I usually like to do. Oop, oop, oop. So they don't revive. This fight is way more annoying if you don't have a divine weapon, by the way. So it's like a gimmick similar to Bed of Chaos, I guess, but not as annoying though. Because if you didn't know that you could get rid of these skeletons with divine weapon, which I guess you would only know if you read Divine Ember, you know, you would learn that actually divine weapons get rid of these skeletons in the first place. If you didn't know that, I imagine it'd be way harder. I tried doing that actually. Look, after I think I played like one of my subsequent playthroughs, I kind of forgot about that fact, and so I actually fought him without any divine weapons. It was way harder. You know, you could do it, I guess, by like making sure that skeletons don't hit you while you're fighting Gravelord, but I don't know. It's like so hard because it's hard to find like a safe spot to actually fight Nito without the skeletons actually fighting you as well and hitting you in the face while you're fighting him, and you know, it's like really annoying. He also does like an AoE effect as well. Like some of his attacks also hit the skeletons as well. But I guess that's the idea, because obviously even if he has friendly fire and then he kills his own skeletons, they come back anyway. But after you get rid of the skeletons, however, it's not too bad of a fight. You know, he has a bunch of like slow attacks. There's like a few things you can do. He has like the AoE attack, you know, that if you're too close to him, you know, you'll obviously get damaged. It's a very wide effect, so I often just give him a wide berth when he does this. I'm not really sure how big that is, you know, his actual attack hitbox. Also this attack. that I never timed properly. You gotta like roll right after he plunges his sword. Like that, yeah. It's a similar effect. You can do this very similar thing, by the way. When you join his covenant, you get like a spell, a miracle that does a similar thing where you summon swords from the ground. It doesn't quite lock on the same way he does it though. You kind of just randomly just a bunch of swords just spread off the ground. So it's not as cool as him, but you can do something similar. But there you go. You know, this fight again not too hard if it's just him. Similar to the Capper Demon. I feel like a lot of Dark Souls bosses are kind of like this way, where they're like the Capper Demon, for example. The dogs are harder than the actual boss. Neo himself, not as hard as the actual skeletons. You have to fight when you're fighting him at the same time. It's funny how the mobs are harder than the actual boss. So he's pretty much already dead at this point. But I mean, that's his strength, I guess, you know? Obviously, if you do make the fight easier with divine weapons, then that's the point. Because he is just a necromancer. If you take away his one advantage, then the fight shouldn't be too hard as I get hit. Slammed by the sword. Just for fun, I just want to, like, punch him. My fist is not really hitting him. Like that. Hit your leg. Yeah. 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 Like that. He also has one grab, by the way. I guess you kind of saw him trying to do that before, but he can grab you. You know, that does damage too. Anyway, I punched him to death. Got the Lord Soul. There you go. Another big boss down. Another soul for the Lord Vessel as well. Yeah, that's basically his bed. That's where we saw him before. Again, I don't know if you can. I think you actually maybe you can. I remember. I might be wrong, but I think I remember you can actually join the Covenant anyway, even when he's gone. Maybe. Well, I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't matter anyway, though. I'm not really doing that Covenant. All right, so a bunch of souls. Let's use them. I don't know, making that dexterity even number and actually more endurance actually. More endurance. I want to be able to equip my my gloves that I want to use. I want to use I don't know, Night Gauntlets or Elite Night Gauntlets, whichever is better. Right now, though, I guess this one has more stats at the moment. I want to check if I can actually. Oh, I'm still medium rolling. You know, in this game, you can medium roll. You can't just use this roll, you know? Because there's like this roll, by the way. I don't know if I showed it before, but there's this roll, and there's like the really, really fat roll, which is funny looking. They're like heavy armor, well, I wear Havel's armor. No, actually, I'm still. Well, I should take off Havel's ring. You know, you can do this. This is like really, really fat roll. This is not recommended, but you can like wear really heavy armor, and then your character just does this and it rolls. And you can also wear even heavier armor. I believe they can't roll at all. I don't know if we can do that. Do that real quick. We wear the heaviest armor in the game, which is Havel's stuff. No, still can't do it. And I guess you need a lot. I guess maybe equip something even heavier. Come on. It's hard to max out your heaviness. I don't know. Havel's Gratio as well. Ugh. So you get so heavy that you can't even roll at all. That's what happens. It's also what happens when someone uses Tranquil Walk of Peace on you, I guess. You just can't walk. You can't even roll. You can't even run at all. That would happen. Obviously, you don't want that much on you. Anyway, let's put my stuff back on. So yeah, you can medium roll. I prefer fast roll though. I mean, in this game as well in particular, fast roll is just better. In terms of like invisibility frames and recovery, it's recommended if you are going to dodge stuff, which most people do. I feel like you wear armor that allows you to do a fast roll rather than like a medium roll. Medium roll, you know, some people say it's enough, but I feel like it's not enough. For me, anyway. Take that off. Take that big shield off. Alright. Go back to Firelink Shrine. Do-do-do-do-do. And I believe, you know, the thresholds are like, you know, because you have equipment load and your stats and everything. You know, it says right here, equipment load. So like 25% of that is fast roll, 50% is medium roll, and beyond 50% is fat roll. And obviously beyond 100% is just no roll at all, barely just walking around. Which reminds me actually of a spell called Iron Flesh, which is a pyromancy flame, or rather the pyromancy spell you can get, which increases your poise but also increases your weight. That was very abusable actually when the game came out, before even PC I believe. But it's been since nerfed, however. But it used to be like there's a strategy you could do where you could just wear like a bunch of armor actually, just even though you don't dodge at all, you just walk around with a million defense and poise. You would actually just tank everything and just kill all the bosses like that. But obviously, can't do that now though. It's been nerfed. Anyway. Alright, well, what do we do now? Let's see. We killed the Bed of Chaos. We killed the 4 Kings. We killed the Brave Lord Nido. I guess the only boss left would be, Thief the Scaleless, I guess. Let's go there.